Well, Carol, I think it's up to whether or not the membership committee, which was appointed in November, has the authority to do this or not. If you don't feel that we have the authority.
No, wait a minute. No, you misunderstood. No. You have all the authority to do that. I was just asking if this was one of the 18 professional positions or one of the 9 permanent organization positions to make the 27 directors. That's the only thing I was.
But that would be a further consideration after the candidate is
because
approved.
you were sending out about the Bar Pilots Association and the Park Service. It was just like the Navy for a period of time. Now they're back with a representative, and that's the only thing I was asking. Whether or not it was being considered Jacksport being a or Ms. Rubin being their representative.
It was only as a candidate. And Alice wrote me a letter and asked if this applied to. She wrote to the committee. Alice wrote to the committee a letter which asked, well, does this mean that all Port Authority members would be subject to this same condition? And the answer that the committee gave was yes.
Well, then it's
It wasn't Port Authority, it was all members. She didn't ask you if it was just Port Authority. She asked if all members, and I wrote you a letter too. Am I held to those same standards? Because if I am, I ain't here.
Yeah, we're all held to those standards.
While I may agree with you, I don't think it's inappropriate when you have the largest landowner wanting to be represented on here. You're going to have to work with them. They own 10 acres down there, doggone it.
The largest landowner are the villagers.
Dwayne Williams.
Well, all right, they got 10 acres on the waterfront, okay? So any way you want to look at it, you're going to have to deal with that when you're going to deal with redeveloping or developing Mayport.
We rezoned that thing before they owned those 10 acres.
I understand that, and that's something that maybe we ought to let them know. But to say you can't come,
if they should know
still
that,
come to the meetings,
they should
and now you got somebody that can sit here and know all you're going on and know nothing about what they're doing, because they may want to work with you. But they aren't going to work with you if you sit there and beat them in the head.
Well, surely you knew that that this organization voted against.
I understand that, and I agree with you. But that doesn't mean that you can't have somebody that doesn't agree with that thought.
I believe the point.
Because the organization, does that mean that everybody that didn't vote that way should leave? I mean, that's not the way you run an organization.
It was unanimous as far as the villages was concerned, and as far as the meeting in January was concerned, it was in January of 2008. It was almost unanimous.
All right.
Thank you, Bob, for stating your position. Val, would you like to weigh in on your thoughts on this subject?
I would, because I am a member of the membership committee. And one of the things that I think perhaps was some even confusion within the membership committee is whether the proposal was for Nancy Rubin as an individual or for Nancy Rubin as a representative of Jacksport, because when she was here in her official capacity as a representative of Jacksport. And it was my understanding and my interpretation that we were in fact discussing whether Jacksport would be asked to be a member, in which Ms. Rubin would be their liaison, or someone else perhaps that they may have designated. My interpretation and my response to the membership committee was that we were discussing a membership for Jacksport, and that is the position that I supported, as I believe that we need to look at things in a little bit of I guess, reality. If I could take just a minute of the group's time, I'm reminded of the story a couple years ago when the auto industry went before Congress, and the congressional officials are asking the automakers, they said that you are building a product that costs $20,000 to manufacture, yet you can only sell it for $15,000. How are you going to make a profit? And they said, well, I guess we'll have to sell more autos. Well, obviously they're not going to make a profit selling more autos. It wasn't that you're losing $5,000 in a automobile that the congressional officials were trying to point out. The story was that the business climate changed and their business plan didn't. And I mention that because I think the Waterfront Partnership is at a junction where we need to evaluate our business plan. In the last 5 years, and most within the last 3 years, we've lost 2 gambling boats, we've lost 2 fish houses, we've lost 2 restaurants, we've lost the post office, we've lost the multiple number of buildings, including at least one former residence, and approximately 800 feet of docks and or wharf space, all on the waterfront side of Ocean Street. We're just like the automakers if we continue in the same business plan that we have had. And I think we need to seriously look at the membership of Jacksport. And I tried to point out to my fellow membership committee members that inviting Jacksport to be a member of the Mayport Waterfront Partnership is not necessarily endorsing a cruise terminal. However, many people have interpreted that to be the same. If we don't have Jacksport at the table, then we do not have much say in what goes on in the waterfront. We have no property, we have no money. We control nothing except a name, and even some of our own plans that have been developed over the years are not economically feasible or viable. And I think that we need to evaluate our own plan as related to these points that Homer has suggested. If we are, I know we have a lot of members that are members of the Mayport community, and I'm not trying to, step on anyone's toes or put anyone down. This group is not the neighborhood watchdog. The issue of a cruise terminal, I'm sure, will come up again, and we will probably address it. Inviting Jacksport to the table does not change the position that this committee has taken, or this group has taken prior. If and when we get to the issue of a cruise terminal in the future, then we take it up at that time. That's the way I think we need to look at the proposal for membership. And I suggest that we look at it as Jacksport as a organizational member rather than Nancy Rubin as an individual member. But I go either way if that's what the chairman's motion was. I interpreted it to be that she would have been the representative of the organization. And Jackport, being the largest landowner, I think needs to be considered for a position on this committee.
Well spoken, thank you.